This is Tristan with Televised magazine. Today's guest is for fans of Lizzie McAlpine, Phoebe Bridgers, and Fleetwood Mac. Her debut single, Cologne, became the world's to hear on May 9th, and since then, she's released a second single, which we'll talk about in just a second. Please welcome Regan Claire. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's been I'm in like a weird few days with it where I don't have a lot going on. I finally get to relax and just listen and take in a ton of music, so
What a great thing to do. I
I
love
know.
sitting and taking in new music.
I know it's been super enjoyable. April Showers is your second single, came out July 25th. In an Instagram post, you said something very powerful about the song. You said, quote, I wrote April Showers when I was struggling to connect with where I was and what I was doing. How could I possibly succeed in what I wanted when I felt like I was meant to be somewhere else? How could I allow myself to freely walk hand in hand with change, knowing it would make me different? How did writing this song and putting it out into the world help you grasp those feelings?
Gosh, I wrote this song like about a year ago, a little over a year ago
Mhm.
now, and I was in a rough place with, I was still in college and studying education, which is great, but not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I really don't want to live in my hometown. I don't want to feel like I'm being mediocre. And I was like, man, how do I get all of these feelings out of
Mhm.
my head and into the world? So I think writing this song really helped me get to such a healthier place with how I was wrestling with all those feelings and just the piece of understanding like I do not have to know what the future holds
Mhm.
and nobody does. And so it gave me a lot of peace, I think, to just be like, all right, here's how I feel. Let's get it out and let's move on.
Yeah. Did you end up moving locations and switching majors and all of that fun
I
stuff that you
I
talked about?
Yeah, I did end up dropping out of college
Okay.
and
Twins on that
that's
one.
when yeah, fair, you get it. And I do still live in my hometown,
Okay.
but I think it helped me really feel a little bit more like I'm not trapped here and I
Hmm.
can make of it what I want to make of it. I do
Yeah.
still really have the desire to get out and to see the world and to
Hmm.
move, but for now I'm still here.
Okay. For now, emphasis on
For
for
now.
now. Where
Yeah.
where would you want to go?
Gosh, I want to live in Nashville. I really do. I know
Okay.
that's such the cliche, like
The
music gets
yeah, the
there.
cliche
But
dream spot.
yeah, I have some friends in Nashville I visit all the time. I live in Knoxville, so it's pretty
Okay.
close. And yeah, but I want to get there one day.
One day. Hopefully very soon.
Yes, exactly.
The music video for April Showers, it's very like lo-fi, mid 2000s kind of camcorder aesthetic. Very down to earth and calming energy in a way. Where did the idea for that video come from?
My best friend Emma, she actually was given a camcorder from her grandmother,
Okay.
and I was like, you know, it would be really cool if we just ran out into a field and did something with it. I also took a lot of footage from when I was visiting Nashville for my birthday.
Okay.
So the video kind of has that feel of like I'm here and I'm there and it's so different, but there's something about it that kind of flows together. And I think that something is me.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where it came from. And it literally was just like we had a camcorder and we were like, this seems rock and roll. Let's do
And
it.
let's do it. Let's get it out of the way.
Exactly.
How long did it take for that idea to come together?
Really not long. I mean, I was just kind of sitting with my friends, like, what should we do? I feel like this song needs to have more of a life than just the song, and I really want to do something with it. And so I am very heavily inspired by Little Women and the It's No Use Joe scene in the field. And I
Mhm.
was like, I really want to go find a hill and run around in it. So let's figure this out. And yeah,
Aesthetic wise, it worked out because when I like think of your music or like see a picture of you on Instagram, that's like the vibe I get is just earthy fields,
yes.
very in touch with nature. So
Well,
I'm
thank you.
glad
I'm
the
glad it
yeah,
translated.
I'm glad the music video reflected it accurately. April Showers followed up on the success of Cologne, which already has a few thousand streams on Spotify. The
Yes.
biggest and kind of most daunting step artists can take sometimes is that first song. How did the release of Cologne come to be?
Oh my goodness. It was a long time coming,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. I wrote Cologne, I was like 17 or 16 when I wrote it.
Hmm.
I was still in high school, very emotional about a situation that is very painted very clearly in the song.
Yeah.
And I think for a long time I had to sit with it and just be like, okay, this was my song to feel my feelings and it's never gonna go anywhere. And it kind of just kept being brought up with my friends would reference it, my
Hmm.
family would reference it, and then when I started talking to my producer and my friends were like, "You've got to send him Cologne. You've got to send him Cologne." I'm like, "That song is so high school. It died with me in high school. Like, no." And I don't know, something in me, I was like, you know what? Let's send Cologne and see how we're feeling. And man, I just feel like every person that heard it just fell in love with it,
Yeah.
and we were able to give it such a new life. And so it took a while. It took about a year of recording and
Hmm.
just what do we like and working with new people and how does recording even work. But finally, it came out in May, and I really feel like the timing of it was good. I needed the time that it took to record to feel comfortable in my skin and comfortable saying what I wanted, and
Yeah.
uh, it took a lot of steps for the song to get to where it was. So it definitely lived a lot of lives before it got
Hmm.
to where it was. But I think where it ended up is exactly where it needed to be.
Hmm. And as you're starting to release music and put yourself out there publicly for like the first time, how does that feel knowing that like obviously we live in different states and I found your music, but the fact that someone in a different country even could reach out one day and be like, "You're my favorite."
Yeah, it's on one hand, it's very like emotionally vulnerable and
Hmm.
scary. Like, oh, I have bared my soul to whoever wants to hear it. But I mean, that I think that's what encourages me as a musician. I feel like I am very, very in tune with my emotions, and that's how
Yeah.
I create this art. And I think it's such a beautiful thing that it can reach somebody in the middle of the room by themselves. Like my voice and my words can reach someone, and I mean,
Hmm.
that's why I do it. That's why I make music, because I want people to hear what I have to say and be like, "Wow, I feel that way too." And then there's like a community brought together, even from all over.
Yeah, music, it's very uniting. It's one of few universal languages in the world,
So true.
which I just love. Going back to Cologne a little bit though, it is a breakup song, and you mentioned you wrote it when you were in high school. Does being a few years removed from it did that make it easier to record and talk about and get those emotions out since it's not as fresh?
I definitely think so. It helped me see it in a different light. I remember my producer one time telling me, like, sometimes you have to divorce your feelings and your real life from the song that you're making, and
Hmm.
you have to look at it with fresh eyes. And I think being removed from the situation for so long and being healed from the situation really helped me be like, okay, how can I just look at this like it's a song and not like it is all of my
Right.
feelings put together? Yeah, it
Hmm.
definitely helped.
That's good because I would imagine if it was very fresh, it would be a much different story. Some songwriters are able to talk about things whether it's still very, very fresh. Taylor Swift, one example. I don't know if I could personally.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. I kind of touched on some artists with similar sounds to you in the beginning. But what are some more of your influences? Like what artists made the most impact on you to truly define your sound? I know on Spotify you have playlists for both songs that are out that are like the sounds of Cologne, but who's inspired you a lot?
You mentioned Lizzie McAlpine. I think Lizzie McAlpine is a big inspiration for me when
Okay.
it comes to lyricism, and she's also heavily inspired by Joni Mitchell, who I
Hmm.
also love. I love a lot of older music. Joan Baez is a big hit for me. I love Phoebe Bridgers. I love the
Okay.
weird kind of sounds that she works with and
Yeah.
somehow makes very beautiful. That's a big inspiration. Um, Gosh, there's so many. I really love Samia. I don't know if you've heard Samia.
I
I've been
know the
referencing her.
name. I can't say I've given them a shot.
Yes,
So.
Samia is such a beautiful, very interesting lyricism, really cool sound. Love her. Adrienne Linker's a big one for
Mhm.
me, also Big Thief. I love the cool indie stuff. I love
Yeah.
the old folk. So I go a lot of ways.
Mhm. When I first found your music before I'd even reached out to set this up, I sent it to a couple of my friends and was just like Lizzie McAlpine meets Waxahachie is how I described it.
Love Waxahachie.
And it's perfect. She's doing a show near me in like 2 months. She lives like 2.5 hours from me, but never
I'm
tours in the
jealous.
area. And I'm like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta go.
I would love to see her live,
Yeah.
yes.
Um, you're kind of already working on more new music. If a TikTok you posted recently is anything to go by. Could you kind of give fans a hint? Is there another single coming? Is there anything in the works aside from just like a work in progress TikTok from a couple weeks ago?
Yes, there's always work in
Mhm.
progress. Is I'm constantly writing. Sometimes I feel like I can't keep up with what should be next.
Yeah.
I My producer Josh Lovelace, he's in the band Need to Breathe. So he's been
Oh,
touring a little
okay.
bit recently. Yes, he's been touring a little bit recently, and we haven't gotten together in a little bit, but we definitely have some writing sessions
Mhm.
in the works, and I definitely have some things cooking up. So new singles, new everything, definitely
Okay.
soon.
I've I know I know the name Need to Breathe. I know like one song, it's like Ever Known or something like that. I think I might have the title wrong. But what's it been like working with someone who's in a touring band playing arenas? They played a 5 or 6 thousand seat arena near me a year or two ago, who's like got experience touring, got experience in arenas, got experience making records. What's it like having that experience near you?
It's really fun. It's really fun working with somebody who really knows what they're doing,
Hmm.
especially for me when I'm like, here's my song, here's all my feelings. I don't know what to do with it. And he's been very encouraging. I think that it's definitely encouraging. Like this is somebody who knows music. This is somebody who
Yeah.
knows the music industry, and the fact that he hears something worth working with me is very encouraging. But it's really fun. It's really fun. I've known
Hmm.
Josh almost my whole life, so
Okay.
it's a really just been an easy transition. I know that there are people in the industry that are not easy to work with, and so it's been I feel very blessed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Had you said you've known him most of your life? Does that like predate Need to Breathe? How did you two meet?
Family friend. So
Okay.
his wife actually like cut my hair when I was little, just
Oh.
like we've grown up, or I've grown up knowing him like pretty
Hmm.
much my whole life. And so I kind of got to a place in my writing and in my life where I was like, okay, this is either going to go somewhere or I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with my
Hmm.
life. And that's when I reached out to him, like, hey, even just as a favor to me, as a family friend or whatever, like, just tell me if this is something worth working with or if I need to give it up.
Hmm.
And he was like, let's get in the studio and work on this. So that was really awesome and really fun.
That's good. It's got to feel good that he saw that talent and saw that there's something outside of a demo or whatever you sent him and wanted to turn it into a fully produced song and truly give a chance to you. I think that's what I love about the music industry the most is just how communal it is. And obviously there's bad apples. There's bad apples in every community, but the music industry, when it feels like a family, it really does feel like a family.
So true.
Um, so I'm very glad that you have that.
Me too.
To start wrapping things up, where can fans find you on social media? I know you're on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Is there anywhere else?
Not really as of right now. I'm still doing all my research and trying to figure out where I can make more of an impact. But
Hmm.
yeah, my usernames are all Regan underscore Claire. Spotify is Regan Claire, all of
Hmm.
that.
And you're on Spotify and Apple Music, and I would
Yes.
assume the other streaming platforms as
All
well.
the
Those are just the
things.
only two I
Yes.
know. So anyone, anywhere on any service can check out Cologne and April Showers that are out now, and check out whatever's coming next in a month or two or three or whatever the plans are. Just kind of leaving little breadcrumbs so they know to expect some more. The closing question that I end every interview with is, what are your three favorite songs at the moment? What are the three songs that anybody could ask you, whether it be your best friend or a stranger on the street, and you'd be like, listen to these three.
Goodness, this is a hard question. Right now, like as of really right now, I have been loving In Your Atmosphere by John Mayer.
Okay.
That is like the guitar is really beautiful in that. Love it. Gosh, it's hard to pick one from albums.
You can do full albums if you want to.
Okay,
I'm kind
Calico by Ryan Beatty. That
okay.
album is living rent free in my head all year, really, but
Yeah.
such a good one. I think my third one is Drawing a Tattoo by Jake Minch.
Okay. I know
Um,
John Mayer, of course, but I have not heard the other two, so you're giving me new music to
well,
listen to as
Calico
well.
by Ryan Beatty is very Lizzie McAlpine. They had the
Okay.
same
Then I would
team
probably enjoy it.
work together on
Hmm.
her newest album and then his album. So
Okay.
it's very reminiscent, very beautiful.
And then who's the third one? You said Jake Minch?
Jake Minch, yeah,
Okay.
he just released a new album. It's called George. It's like a no skip album. It's gorgeous. I see him live next Tuesday, so I'm very excited.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
I That must be a very fun concert, just from the sounds of how much you like him and enjoy him. I know I said that was the closing question, but I'll throw one more. What's your favorite concert you've ever been to?
Oh my goodness. I am such a live music person.
Yeah,
I
so am I. That's why
really,
I'm asking.
yeah, I think my favorite band, which I've seen them many times, my favorite band to see live is Greta Van Fleet.
Okay. They've been
Yes.
on my list, and they were when they were touring with Geese as their opener. That was
Yes.
like
I was there.
now I'm a much bigger Geese fan than I am a Greta Van Fleet fan. So it's like I could have been there. I could have seen Geese when they were small, and now they're like the whole tour's sold out. I'm not going to see Geese on this tour at all. But
Yeah.
I just had to throw that in there at the end as a fellow super huge live music fan. So thank you.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Reagan, for joining me and getting this set up on like really short notice. This came together in like under
Of
a
course.
week. And yeah, thank you, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.